Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. Took the weekend off. Went to visit my parents. Back in Georgia, about a 7-hour drive. Um, yeah, so I had like 3 days pretty much completely off of training, went on a few walks with my parents and wife. Other than that, total rest, man. 3 days of total rest. A lot of that was sitting in a car, just sitting and visiting and talking with people. Come right back home, I'm like itching to move, itching to do, something vigorous with my body. And I was like, let's hit up the freaking the Thomas Inch trainer dumbbell. And without even knowing it, guys, I wasn't even counting the freaking weight. I just kept going up, kept going up, kept going up, using that freaking thumbless grip. Without even knowing it, I exceeded the freaking Thomas Inch dumbbell weight of 172 pounds. I lifted 177 pounds pretty much by my fingertips. Crazy. And I floated 182. And on my left hand, I got 162. Like a solid 162. Held at the top for a bit and everything. So I'm thinking, man, I don't know, I'm speechless. Honestly, I didn't think I would get there that quickly. Now, if you're wondering, like, why the hell or how the hell I achieved that so quickly, I think a lot of it was just the so-called newbie gains, figuring out the form of the lift, really paying attention, spending time with it. I spent say on average about 15 minutes just lifting that dumbbell for the past, 6 weeks. I was looking back at my videos. I was like, when did I first start lifting this thing? It was about 7 weeks ago. But the first 2 sessions, I was lifting it kind of differently. Okay, I was trying to use a bunch of wrist flexion. But then I was looking at videos of people who have lifted the Thomas Inch dumbbell, especially thumbless, because that seemed like that was the quickest way I could do it because of my fingertip strength is, unusual since I climb a lot. And I came across, the legend, as they call him, Ron Bath, the champion arm wrestler. And he was lifting the Thomas Inch dumbbell pretty much the same way I was doing, but he would get a deep hook and then lift it up powerfully. And he would lose almost all of his wrist flexion. There's just a little bit of wrist flexion left, just enough so the weight was caught in his fingertips. And he held it like that, put it back down. And this is on, what's his name? This is on Professor Crowbar's channel. He had a video of it at some event. This is a guy that does tons of, a grip sport and competes and trains people and arm wrestles and everything. And he was saying that was a good lift. And I was like, well, shit, I might as well lift like that too. So I changed my form and tried to get better and better. I kept watching that Ron Bath video, trying to see what he was doing, getting that deep, almost like a damn false grip like you would have on the gymnastics rings. Deep grip, and just boom, just freaking use a lot of that upper back power, especially the fingertips to just wrench that bitch off the ground. So once I changed my form to that for the thumbless grip lift, skyrocketing in progress. I think I made I think I broke 100 pounds on week 5 I broke 150 pounds in week 6, and then this today was week 7. I broke into, 177, so beyond what the actual inch dumbbell weighs, which is 172, and I think some change. So yeah, crazy, man. Of course, I don't actually own the real thumbless inch dumbbell, but I'm gonna trust that this thumbless inch dumbbell trainer, which is based on the design by what's that guy's name? Forget the guy's name, but he's a badass in the grip community that has lifted inch dumbbell. If I remember, I'll put it in the description. But yeah, according to him, if you can even lift like 20 pounds less on this dumbbell trainer, you can lift the real inch. It's supposed to be harder than the real inch. I can't verify if that's true, because I'm not going to be able to get my hands on a real inch dumbbell. They cost like $400 friggin'. I'm not going to pay that much. You know what I mean? If I happen to come across one, which who knows if and when that will be, I'll give it a shot. But until then, I'm just going to keep using the training dumbbell. I'm going to keep going up in weight, because I feel like it is helping my fingertip strength, and it's really it seems to benefit my climbing. Like whenever I do that lift the next day or day after that, if I climb, I feel a lot stronger. And I'm only lifting this once a week. But again, I'm focused on it. I'm going hard on it for around 50 minutes or so. Okay. I'm using the thumbless grip, and I'm also using like the pinch grip. And I just today changed my form on that one. For a while, I was trying to like pinch it like this. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. So today, I was like, what if I just do the same kind of thing I'm doing for the thumbless, like, but go into a complete extension. So let it completely roll into my hand and just pick it up like this. So it's almost more like a pinch lift than like a regular, lift. You might lift a, standard dumbbell with this kind of grip, right? Just like a punch or something, like knuckles are in line. But I figured with that thick bar, in order to have like a better position in the thumb especially, I'll just go into like complete wrist extension. And I did that today. I made like what did I make? Like a 30-pound PR. I just changed my form a little bit. So anyway, it's all newbie games, guys. It's all me just figuring out how to do this, what's the best way for me to do this. And obviously it's relying on my, out of the ordinary fingertip strength. That seems to work the best. I'm gonna keep training like that. I had been working on my legs. I'm gonna have to work on my legs a little bit harder, because I can feel already in like my glutes, my quads, my hamstrings, my low back, like they're already like straining a little bit. Once I get past around like 160, I can feel them like really, really working. So I don't want, I'm not skipping leg days, but I want to like go a little bit harder on leg days, just so that my lower body or like low back aren't like the weakest link in that lift. I want my hands obviously to be the weakest link. It's gonna be hilarious once literally my fingertips are stronger than my freaking hips and the low back and legs and stuff. It's gonna be freaking ridiculous. But yeah, guys, pretty happy with that. Kind of just blown away by my progression through this lift. Again, I mean, on average, around 50 minutes once a week for the past 7 weeks. So we're talking about roughly 6 hours of training, And already, I think I went from freaking I went from 47 pounds all the way to 177. With those form tweaks and just, anyway, pretty cool. I'll keep grinding on it. I'm gonna try to stay motivated and go for like the Millenium Dumbbell weight, which I think is like 228. Because again, I'm trying to get really I'm trying to dial in on my sports psychology, right? So I don't want to like be in the mindset of like, okay, I've achieved my goal, and then like kind of lose motivation or whatever, or lose that excitement on lifting day. So I'm just going to extend that goal from the thumbless dumbbell weight of 172 to the Millenium Dumbbell weight of, I'm pretty sure it's 228. I can double check it or whatever. If I get it wrong, I'll write it in the description. But I'm just going to keep going, guys. It seems to help my climbing. It's really fun. You know what's really interesting? I guess since it's like a unilateral lift, I'm only lifting with one arm. It's like a one-arm deadlift. Because of that, I'm using like some of my lateral trunk muscles, like quadratus lumborum in the back, like external and internal obliques. Like I'm feeling it hard in those like lateral trunk muscles, and even in like kind of the glute, like lateral hip muscles, like my glute minimus and medius and stuff. So it feels super healthy for like my back and stuff, because I feel like I don't get enough work in those muscles. And I feel like lately, being, the old ass man that I am, I mean, I'm only 32, but still, I've had a long athletic career, so to speak. Any of these bilateral lifts, like if I do regular squats, regular deadlifts, my back starts getting screwed up, man. I don't know what it is, but the unilateral stuff has felt therapeutic as shit. So that's been awesome too. I'm gonna keep it up, man, for all those reasons. That finger strength, that thumb strength, and that like kind of unilateral, whatever you want to call it, like side core and hip strength. It's been awesome. It's carrying over very well in my climbing, I believe. I mean, I've been crushing lately outdoors. Haven't been indoors much. I need to at least go like once a week or something. I've been kind of like, I don't know, busy and not focused on indoor climbing, but I don't want to use like that. I don't want to lose the raw power that I get from like climbing indoors, big dynamic moves and stuff. That stuff's so fun. I think it's so good for building power and like hand-eye coordination and climbing. So I don't want to like lose that. Outdoors, I don't get that a lot. I feel like the moves are like a little bit smaller. At least on the things I've been on lately. So gotta get indoors definitely this week if I can. My wife is having like I would just say an operation. I'll just be kind of vague with it. It's nothing serious, but I have to take care of her basically tomorrow and Wednesday, and then she'll be pretty much back to normal. So I might not video anything tomorrow or Wednesday, but I should be probably climbing or something Thursday if the weather's nice. So definitely look out for that, guys. And yeah, man. I was thinking about when I first got into like strength training. I was a swimmer for a long time, and swam from like the age of 7 or 8 or something up until 18, like my last year in high school. Didn't do it in college. Wanted to focus on my education stuff, and I wanted to go to UGA, which was super competitive for swimming. I mean, several other swimmers like got medals in the Olympics, for instance. I was definitely not that good, but I was like, whatever. I don't need to swim in college. Just some, small ass school rather go to freaking UGA, get a nice education, whatever. But all that aside, I wanted to get like muscular in high school. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like going through puberty, want to get a girlfriend, that kind of mindset. And I felt like I was just skinny. I had no muscle on me, even though it was like in obviously great shape from swimming. And my friend Angelo lifted weights, I think he said like 3 times a week, and dude was just like full of muscles, like triceps popping out of here and shit. I was just like, damn. And he was telling me like, you know, what to do, you know, bench press and dips and curls and squats and lunges and this and that. I was like, all right, I'm gonna start doing this, you know, a few days a week or whatever. And my dad had these dumbbells. There's some cheap ass dumbbells, probably like not like smaller than a standardized handle, probably like 1 inch or something. And they were just like one like welded piece of metal, basically. There's not, they're just like 20 pounds each, just hunks of iron, basically, with tiny handles. And I remember when I went down to pick one up and do curls with it, it took me 2 tries to even lift it off the ground. That's how weak I was at like the age of 14 or something. And I was like blown away because I assumed that I was strong from swimming, but I was not. I was like weak as shit because I never really lifted anything in my life other than, you know, here and there doing chores around the house or in the yard or something. I remember that made me feel so freaking weak and kind of just like, you know, broke the glass of my freaking ego, you know what I mean? I thought I was so like in shape from swimming, but all I had was cardio, really. So I started strength training. Eventually, you know, I was doing sets of like 20 curls, those dumbbells, overhead press, stuff like that. And yeah, man, fast forward, what, 17, is that right? 18 years later, whatever the hell it is. I can't fucking count. Oh my god, so yeah, I say roughly 18 years later. Now I'm lifting 177 pounds, something that weighs, what, like 13 pounds more than I do, with a handle 1.5 inches thicker that spins. You know what I mean? Like, how is that for progress, guys? And honestly, dude, I've been feeling lately so, like, deeply satisfied with where I am in my strength. I feel stronger than ever. You know, my cardio is not as good as it was when I was a swimmer, but in general, I just feel way stronger, way healthier. When I look back and see how far I've come, I'm like, damn, you know, all that freaking hard work definitely paid off. I'm like, you know, I don't know how to actually quantify this, but let's say I could barely pick up 20 pounds 18 years ago, and here I am doing 180 almost. You know what I mean? That's like 9 times stronger, basically. And it's a thicker handle, so who knows, more than 10 times stronger than I used to be. So that's pretty crazy, guys, and I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, man, y'all just keep crushing out there. I know there's a lot of people that, you know, watch this that are younger than me. There's a lot of people that watch this that are older than me. But either way, man, just keep going. And I think one day, if you haven't already, you'll look back and see how far you've come and be like, damn, all this hard work, it was fucking worth it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, peace the fuck out. Have a good one.